Welcome to Curiosity Challenge Strixhaven week number 8. I'm Nathaniel, aka twitch.tv/the_ida, and this is Zach, and you can find him at twitch.tv/swordsandstatutes. You're either watching live on Twitch right now or undead on YouTube. Now, what makes this week a little bit special, Zach?
Well, this is a very special week because Nathaniel, this is our 8th week, our last week of the regular season of Curiosity Strixhaven, and so this is the week that we're cutting to our top 7 that are guaranteed to get into the Cave Dweller Clash, which is next Saturday. However, if folks have played this season, that gets them into the Big Oozer.
Okay.
And we have a nice graphic on this to explain.
We'll explain that in just a bit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll do that.
It's no, actually, let's just fuck it. Let's go for it. All right, here is the road to the Cave Dweller Clash. Now, I do not know how flowcharts work, so can you tell me a little bit more?
Yeah, so today we see that we're at Strixhaven week 8, and if you look to the right, we read left to right. So the top 7 point earners get the 1 to 7 seeds, and they go to the Cave Dweller Clash next Saturday. However, players not ranked 1 to 7, they go to the Big Oozer, which is next Friday. Time TBA, 6:25. And the winner of the Big Oozer gets the 8th seed, and they also go to the Cave Dweller Clash.
So do I have how many points do I need to even get into the Big Oozer?
You just have to have played, and playing just 1 week gets you 1 point.
Oh, nice. And yeah, so let's just take a quick peek at where we're at this right now, going into week 8. So I would say, let's see, so we have EnsignedRedShirt, Jfish, Jerome, and Xivilian. They're pretty much guaranteed to get in. As long, I mean, all they pretty much need is they just need to play this week. They just need Xivilian and Jerome just need to play this week, and then they're in. And then, and that is if Hilario or Clauses, if they win this week, then they can get in. They can get 15 points.
Yeah, they can cinch it.
So yeah, I think last season we had 1 or 2 people that could possibly break into the top 10, or sorry, top 8. No, it's top 7 this time. So we had a few people, and we're about the same bit. And if we just like take a peek at these scores, in the top 10. Sorry, I keep saying top 10. There's all those top 10 lists. If you look at the top 7, these people, yeah, they have a pretty good record week to week, but the most important is that they've played. So the more that you play, the more chances you get to get points. If you just show up every week and lose, you're still going to get 1 point every week. So that's 8 points just by showing up.
Right. And I mean, 8 points would get you at least into, that would be in 10th place.
Be in 10th place, but if you won a match 1-2, you're moving on up.
Yeah. So
yeah, so we'll probably be, if they're signed up, we'll be watching Hilario and Clauses. I'm not sure if they're signed up this week, so they might be just saying, I'm gonna go for that Big Oozer tournament.
Yep.
But yeah, we're not gonna go too much into. We're not gonna talk about the deck construction. We're just gonna get right into the games this week because hey, if you're on the 8th episode of this season, you better know what's going on. We're not doing no recap shit.
And if you're just finding this episode, you can go check out our award nominated website, curiositymtg.com, or join our Discord, which is exclamation point Discord on Twitch, or it'll be linked below in the YouTube video.
Nice. Well, I guess we're on to round number 1. All right, it is time for the first match in our final week tournament. It is SaltyDwarf coming for the first time since Zendikar Rising, I believe, versus newcomer Unraveler.
Yeah, Unraveler is here trying to get that additional point, going from ooze to crown, and honestly, they have a fairly interesting deck. It's another Simic build, but it's got some different turns than what Simic has traditionally looked like this season. And SaltyDwarf is doing a Boros aggro build, using Blade Historian and Hoffrey Ghostforge as his rares. We haven't seen Hoffrey this season.
Looks like SaltyDwarf was a little bit
Eager.
impatient.
Yeah, wanting to just go face right here. But
it is interesting because enthusiastic study does give you that learn ability. Not quite sure what the plan was, but hey, your opponent still hasn't played a creature and is discarding a card, so it might as well.
And that's the odd thing, because Unraveler's deck has 9 creatures, or 9 creature cards, including 3 Scurrid colonies. So I'm surprised that they haven't been able to get one of those down.
Hey, they just can't find it.
SaltyDwarf getting in for a little bit of chip damage there with those Eager or Star Pupils. Eager Pupils, another card. Or Eager first year.
Yeah, but still, 5 mana, no creatures. Test of Talents.
Test of Talents on Spirit Summoning. Not going to hit anything out of the deck. And can't hit sideboards. Finally,
this is what's always fun about watching new players, because it is kind of like a new player versus a new player, because of the different meta, and realize and finding out that Test of Talents is not going to be the best against these spirit summonings and any lessons, but also in Unraveler's position couldn't really do much.
SaltyDwarf using
enthusiastic study.
Yeah, using that to really kind of push through damage, with Unraveler having barely anything on board. I think we may sort of see the last push here for SaltyDwarf. All right, so Mascot Interception. Have you played that card?
I have not, and I don't think I've ever seen anyone play it.
No, so it's an active treason effect where it costs 3 less if it hits a token, but it grabs, or you gain control of target creature until end of turn, untap it, and it gets +2/+0 or +2/+0, and gains haste. So yeah, SaltyDwarf gonna push through for the win on game 1.
Easy game 1 for SaltyDwarf. Opponent couldn't find permanents to throw on the battlefield, but hey, here we are trying again.
So looking at both of these decks, they both have lesson boards. So nothing coming in.
Nothing coming in, nothing coming out. What?
I don't know. I had a lot of popcorn coming in last night.
Yeah, I see a lot of popcorn,
Yeah.
and I see what is that?
It's just Pickers vodka.
Pickers vodka.
Hey, Pickers vodka. You need a stream sponsor, or don't you?
No, we need a stream
Yeah,
sponsor.
we need a stream sponsor. You need a partner.
Yes. So Unraveler getting the colony out the way we're gonna not take as much chip damage as we have been.
I think Salty could have attacked in there, because losing the star people and buffing Blood Age General would not have been a bad move.
Mm-hmm. And then, yeah, SaltyDwarf playing first day of class. Not a card that we really see a lot of. Okay, Quandrix Apprentice. This might be good. Although
Quandrix. Yeah, we've seen Quandrix Apprentice do a lot of work in these Simic decks. And one note on first day of class, that card is actually blowing up Pauper right now because of the squirrel decks, because it gets everything a +1/+1 counter in haste.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Well, hey, go to Pauper.
SaltyDwarf getting Blade Historian down to give everything double strike.
Oof. Got rid of your nice guy.
Put that counter on Blood Age General.
And Swords, you're a little bit over on the...
Shoot, I'm so sorry.
Got us. You get too comfortable.
I get way too comfortable. I'm like, damn, I'm so enthralled by these games. I just have to like lean back and have an enjoyable time.
Yeah, there's nothing enjoyable if you're Unraveler, because your opponent is double striking their way into the victory spot.
It's curious why Unraveler didn't block any of that.
It's got a squirrel colony. Doesn't need to.
I mean, not even casting anything to get the advantage off of Apprentice. Wow.
Yeah, and this mascot, this is a 4/2 double striker. Yeah. The math is in Unraveler's favor.
I think, yeah, we see a test of talents here.
That's a test that you needed.
Even still, with that being exiled, or excuse me, discarded, SaltyDwarf's going to be able to get in for at least 4 here because of... Oh, actually, no. I always forget Scurried Colony has reach.
It does have reach, but unfortunately for him, the other creatures have double strike.
So, Unraveler down at 2. Is there anything they can do right now?
Yeah, so what Unraveler can do is, what I encourage everyone to do is go to our YouTube videos and watch previous weeks. Probably not now, because you still have a few more turns, a few more matches. But yeah, go check out the previous weeks, see what decks are working, what's not. But hey, still new players. You still you got a lot to learn. This is a different kind of deck construction, and there we go. SaltyDwarf coming in 2-0 versus Unraveler.
So you mentioned our YouTube channel, Nathaniel, and SaltyDwarf. At least my understanding is that he, in some ways, based his deck around a deck tech that we do have on that YouTube channel. And hopefully next season, we'll be putting out more deck techs, just to, again, give people a way to see what the deck building is like and give ideas for archetypes.
Well, until next season, I'm Nathaniel. Wait, no.
Oh,
Well, continue.
oh no. Sean just told me though that he did his deck before he saw the video, so I stand corrected.
Hey, great minds think alike.
That's right.
Talking about great minds, we will be back with round number 2 of this final week in the Strixhaven season.
All right.
Here we are, round number 2, Xivilian versus EnsignedRedShirt. Two players who are just playing for fun this week because they're both going to the Cave Dweller Clash. Xivilian, although, had to mulligan down to 5 cards.
I'm only getting down to 5 cards with his very fast, low to the ground aggro deck. Is okay though, maybe, because there's a lot of recursion in Civilian's deck, specifically with Mavinda. And we see charge through in hand to get a little bit more card draw.
Yeah, but look at this. Killian,
Wow.
5/5. Vigilant, Lifelink, and Menace. No longer Vigilant, but still.
Yeah, that's a beating right there.
And with
Quadrix
no
Pledge Mage
land.
getting down, gonna maybe begin to get rolling next. Oh my gosh. Red Shirt coming in with a just the big hurt.
Big hurt. And then, Xivilian not getting a land. Bad. Not the worst, though, just because he needs to have playables.
Killian is a very strong card. Like the fact that it is both menace and lifelink, two very well paired abilities.
Mm-hmm.
And like Red Shirt is at 30 life now. Granted, Civilian's deck can bring down life totals quickly,
Oof.
but I don't think it's going to happen at this point.
Not with a 6/6 Killian. Now, you do have Study Break. You do have Big Play. You do have Charge Through.
All right, so we see the Lumimancer played. I question that play because it might have been better to just wait and Study Break next turn.
Yeah, Study Break. But hey, Xivilian, top 7. He knows
That's true.
what to do. Although this flyer is hard to do. Maybe just wants the value.
There's a there's a clear way out of this too. You could have played Combat Professor and held up a blocker, but here's the Study Break.
Mm-hmm. We're studying. This clever Loromancer is going to be a 2/3.
So Mascot Exhibition is sort of out of the question here, but Expanded Anatomy works pretty well. Help Civilian go toe to toe with Killian.
Yeah, and then hopefully, I feel like you have to play Combat Professor. But who am I? I'm just this guy.
Snakeskin Veil is not bad either. There's a sequence of going Expanded Anatomy onto Pledge Mage and then holding up Snakeskin Veil to really be able to take out Killian. But we see Combat Professor give Pledge Mage Vigilance. So, all right, it looks like Civilian may be turning it here. Maybe.
I'm not quite sure. This Killian is gonna attack. You're gonna have to double block it. You're gonna lose. You're probably gonna lose Combat Professor.
I bet Richard has a combat trick though, or not. Okay.
I think the combat trick is Overwhelming Destruction. Xivilian says Norway and Germany will fight another turn again.
So Nathaniel, one thing that we've noticed too is Mascot Exhibition, and you and I talked about this last week, how Mascot Exhibition has been in the sideboard of almost every winning deck. Our rules state that a card is going to be banned or suspended if it's in the main board.
Mm-hmm.
And granted, no one has really necessarily won with Mascot Expedition. It's a way to press an advantage. Um, do you think it's worth a consideration of
Ban.
a
Suspension.
ban going into the clash?
I don't think so. It definitely is something we didn't really think about until later in the season. And I, not the
Oh
greatest.
my gosh, that hurts.
That's not a good hand at all. Not something that we really saw play. I mean, it didn't get a lot of play. It got play. I don't know. I just think it's not like a bomb. And the wins with it aren't like noticeable. I'm sure people have won
Right.
with it, but it's not like that's the reason why you won. I don't know. I think it's too late. So let's just ignore it that it happened.
We see the same sequence from Red Shirt here of using guiding voice and expanded anatomy to make Killian just a beast. It looks like we're going to get this exact same play. Okay. Mage duel. All right. So this is a fight effect.
Just making it just.
That's all right. That's just going to slow down.
Yeah.
Civilians' assault. So it's +2. All right. So Killian is down.
Killian's
Richard's
down?
30 life though.
30 life. Yeah. Yeah, would have gone down a little bit more, but it felt awkward. But no, it was pretty good to turn your opponent asleep. Necrotic fumes, no more land.
So necrotic fumes, yeah, Red Shirt is missing a black.
Oh, that's true. So we're not going to see a block.
The thing is, though, we see that Civilian has beaming defense or defiance, which gives something hexproof. So better hope that Red Shirt doesn't get a land.
Yeah, and it looks like Xivilian said, I will hope that you don't get a land. Because decided that they were going to risk it and pays off a bit. Unfortunately, not getting the mana to be able to double spell this turn or next turn.
They can double spell. They can do Show of Confidence into Mage Duel. But that's not the most optimal use, but it'll get multiple triggers for both Pledge Mages and take out the other Killian.
Yeah.
So it's not bad.
See, that's where you're smart and I'm just the handsome one.
Thing is that, let me see. I wonder if Red Shirt is running Beaming Defiance as well. They are not. Okay. So that would have been a way for Killian to survive. And we don't see it. And this is going to be a 13-point swing. Or at least a 7.
Bam! Well, when you have a lot of life, you can just let it go.
Yeah. YOLO.
YOLO, yo-ho. It feels, so on the other side of the battlefield, you're facing down an expanded anatomy.
Mm-hmm.
Study break. Okay. So these study breaks.
Another necrotic fumes. Okay.
I'm wondering if EnsignedRedShirt does not have a full lesson board.
They do not. They have 2 Mage Hunters and a Wandering Archaic in the sideboard. Of note, though, they also do not have environmental sciences, which would have been clutch right there to go get that other black.
Yeah. And still, this looks like this is a game for this match has just been mana flood, mana screw for one player on each side. Now you have to block.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost too scary because your necrotic fumes is too late.
Yeah. It's something where I think Redshirt didn't expect that beaming defiance. Yeah. So also Civilian, I think they're running. Is it 4 beaming defiance? I mean, that's a great card, and the fact that it's common is just really strong there.
Yeah, but we did see that 2 of them are in the sideboard now.
Yeah, 2 are in the sideboard and 1 is in the main.
How many lands is this guy playing? It always seems like he does not have the lands it needs.
Well, Civilian is only running 16 lands, and because white green is not it's not a supportive or not a supported archetype. There's no dual lands for it. Oh wow.
Okay. Okay.
So
well,
2
hey.
minutes. Oof. Sedgemoor Witch that's a card I expected to get way more play as well, because it just has so much capacity to push through damage and then gum up the board.
Yeah, one thing that makes that card so great though also is the ward. So ward being a very interesting thing. So you want to kill it here, but you can't pay for it. I think it's a ward of it's maybe possibly 3.
It is, yeah. It's a ward of -3 life, or cost of 3 life.
Yeah. Oh, it's just cost?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, 2 combat professors, 2 vigilant creatures.
Oh, yes.
2 menace, 2 flyers, 2 of everything.
Okay, so Civilian lets through the Sedgemoor Witch. I think that was a clear block.
I mean, I think that you're trying to get something on the other side. Now we're in the position where you have to kill a combat professor.
Mm-hmm. So 5 mana up, you could... yeah. You could Beam and Defiance into Mage Duel and still have 2 up, but that's just not as good. All right, so one combat professor down. What do we send down?
You send in nothing. You're taking 2 in the air and 2 on the ground. Possibly 3. Okay, so 3 in the air, 2. Yeah, so. I think that might have been a throw.
That could have been a win.
That definitely was. EnsignedRedShirt playing a little bit defensive, probably thinking my opponent could have Expel. But we all know that Civilian has nothing.
Civilian says, screw it, I'm going in.
Yeah.
Come here, Jade. Hold on, Jade. 1 second.
Yeah, so EnsignedRedShirt really showing who's boss.
The thing is, though, like you mentioned, both of these players are already qualified for the Cave Dweller Clash. And honestly, Civilian's deck has been impressive, and I really hope he does well.
Well, I mean, here's the interesting thing is...
Come on, G, push. Let me get her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta get them kitty cats. Oh, look at that sweet devil.
Jade, what did you think about that? Oh,
Meow, meow, meow. No, one thing that I definitely think that was interesting is something to note. So Andrew is on top, right? Um,
yes.
Andrew played in the first round. Andrew played number 6 seed Kang Breath and beat him. And then now he plays number 4 seed Xivilian and beats him. So, ooh, so J-Fish is here, but J-Fish does not have the record to face him in the finals. So it could be Mana Sultan. It could be Mana Sultan. Or yeah, I think Mana Sultan, because I know it's 7 people, so there's a possibility that someone could have a loss. But yeah, I think Ensigned Red Shirt kind of taking the position that Clausius was in last season of Ultimate Winner. And
yeah,
you know,
because Redshirt has really they really shaped the early season with the Witherbloom kind of combo style things. We saw that for maybe 2 or 3 weeks where everyone was kind of iterating on that initial build, and then after Sparring Regimen was banned, we've seen other kind of mid-range builds be developed by Redshirt and Queenie to an extent as well.
Yeah. Well, we'll be back with the final round of the week, and there's probably some great news, some great ideas going around, but right now the answer is no. So round number 3 starts in just a second. Here we are, week number 8, final week, final matchup. It is Ensigned Red Shirt versus the Mana Sultan. It's very hot out here, so our brains aren't functioning as normal, and they already weren't functioning to begin with.
No. Yeah, Ensigned Red Shirt, aka Andrew, he's over here playing a super fast deck because he wants to get out of the German heat.
Mm-hmm. Got to turn off that computer.
That's right.
Lash of Malice.
Oof. Right. Well, looks like Redshirt almost planned that. It was like, get out the Killian, make that a target, and then save the witch.
Save that witch. And this is why you should always play your new creatures on main phase number 2.
That's right. I forget that so often, and then I feel like the big dumb.
Yeah, it is one of those annoying things. It's just something that you have to get used to, like... Uh-oh, here comes the Leroy. Serpentine Curve for 5. Wow.
Already.
I did not see how that happened. And you know what? I'm happy with it. Although I think we'll see a closing statement. Isn't closing statement cost a lot less?
Or even a necrotic. Or yeah.
Yeah, we can play
Sigma Witch with Menace going in. No worries there. And then Necrotic Fumes, just take it out.
Do you think he's going to take the Pest or the set? Okay, so he did the Pest.
Take the Pest, and then you get a Pest back.
Easy.
The Magecraft. Wow.
Playing the Extus.
Sultan's playing the Extus? What?
No, Ensigned Redshirt is.
Ensigned Redshirt's playing the Extus. What?
It's a very interesting card. Probably not playing the backside of it.
Yeah, that was a card that we messed around with on Brews Days, which happen every Tuesday during the season
Mm-hmm.
at 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, it's kind of a very silly card. Not really that great. Takes a lot to pull off the backside of it, and doesn't really work out that well.
So we see Barry and Books pushing that witch into her cauldron, which is the deck, and going ahead and taking the 3 ward cost. And bam, Extus is on the field.
So is
Oh,
Professor Onyx.
this is an easy -3 right here.
I don't know. Maybe you want to get your opponent. Yeah, it is.
Wow, okay. So we know that Witch is on top of the deck. Closing statement hit Planeswalkers.
I don't believe so. Based on Ensign
Yes,
it can.
it can.
Hmm.
Um, Destroy target creature or planeswalker you don't control. Put plus a counter on up to 1 target creature you control. So I guess Red Shirt's wanting to go for value here.
Yeah, probably saying I don't want to didn't want to put a +1/+1 counter on a pest token.
Right. That you're just going to sacrifice to something later.
Yeah.
Lots of stuff in the yard already. And Sultan has sort of like rocketed out here.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't really expect his deck to be going this fast.
Well, I wouldn't say he's rocking too hard. He's at 11 health, and his opponent has 20 health.
Very true.
There's a little bit of a card advantage on Sultan's side, but unlike the flying deck he was playing last um, a few weeks ago, this one does not have as easily protection against flyers.
Thing about Sultan's deck though, it's again doing some of the uh like off it is in the unsupported archetypes,
Mm-hmm.
which really respect here. So again, blue white not really covered, um, and white blue is, but black blue, of course not. But again, seeing a really strong Esper build here. The Barian Books is going to hit the Owl and Shield Mage, and Sultan may or may not take this 3. Closing statement firing off toward Professor Onyx. I wonder if a test of talents is coming. So really in the tank here.
Test of Talents. My favorite card in the Curiosity kind of realm. Really, Test of Talents is kind of once people figured out.
Ooh,
Okay.
divide by 0. So Sultan is playing 2 test of talents in the main board.
Well, one thing, like Test of Talents is kind of what killed. Okay, Leroy's laying on the keyboard. Kind of killed a lot of the Quandrix decks because a lot of those cards you ran 4 ofs, and it's just too risky to play. A lot of those cards you ran 4 ofs were the best cards in your deck too.
Similarly, test of talents really it sort of neuters the approach decks as well. Even though Sultan's is an approach deck, that's his other rare. Um, but we saw it was 2 weeks ago when it was Jerome versus Sultan.
Mm-hmm.
I think Sultan was running this deck, and seeing how Test of Talents being able to find the other one and take that out when an approach was on the stack was just key.
Yeah. Well, it's key that, yes, now I would say Sultan has completely turned this game around.
Yeah, Professor Onyx is really just doing work here. We saw how those ward effects did barely anything because Professor Onyx was able to gain back that life through that Magecraft trigger.
Mm-hmm. And approach is in the graveyard for Sultan. Decided not to take it.
Oof. Okay.
I mean, I think that might be the right play. I think Sultan's seeing that damage is how we win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Rather than waste a turn casting a 7-mana spell, go ahead and sort of press the advantage with these small defenders and get that damage through Onyx. Sultan
Uh-oh.
coming to the counter here. Yes.
Oh, and that is probably going to be game. I don't know how Andrew's going to take it out here, but yep.
Gonna go ahead and concede. Wow. Okay. So very nice. So looking at Sultan's, so we see that Red Shirt goes ahead and sides in the Wandering Archaic. What did they take out? They took out Extus. I think that's a pretty strong choice there because Wandering Archaic, that has the ability of when an opponent casts an instant sorcery spell, you may pay 2. If they don't, you may copy that spell and choose new targets.
Very, very annoying kind of card.
We also saw one Thunderous Orator come out, as well as Killian, and the Mage Hunters come in. So Andrew really understands this format, being able to bring in those Mage Hunters to slow down the life gain from Onyx.
Yeah, I think the Mage Hunter, I mean, especially if your opponent doesn't get Onyx on the battlefield, your opponent is going to have to deal with these Mage Hunters first because they're playing so many instants and sorceries.
And so Mana Sultan is really in the tank about his sideboarding. To note, there is one copy of Go Blank, which is target player discards 2 cards, then exile all cards from that player's graveyard. Interesting choice.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when there's not much graveyard synergy except in Lorehold.
Yeah, I think just having your opponent discard cards is always good.
True.
Okay, we got one mulligan.
Pretty decent second hand though.
Yeah, this is going all right. You know, the eye twitch isn't that scary. Excuse me.
Walk took it out here.
What took a long ass walk? I'm gonna have to take like an hour-long nap, which will be great because we have enough. Probably have 2 hours between this and the next part of the stream.
Yeah. All right, so we have dueling hunts for specimens, and Sultan is lacking mana. Promising Dusk Mage, not the best there. It needs those plus encounters to really go off.
Well, good thing you have Expand Anatomy. We do have a lot of
Amy, you're yawn.
Yeah, well, you know, that craft fair was not that long, and then I was like, well, let's still like chill, and then we walked for like 2 hours or something, hour and a half, 2 hours.
Dang.
Yeah, probably 2 hours.
Sultan hunting for more specimens. Gumming up the board.
Gumming up that board, getting a big booty. Oof, this is not what you want to see. You want to see it, but you want to see a land.
However, promising Dusk Mage getting those plus counters is going to make it able to draw a card whenever it does die. So That's something, I guess. Sultan gonna gain some life here, though.
Yeah, gains 2. You still got a flyer. Yeah, these pest battles don't really do much, ticking down your opponent's life. Uh-oh. So no attack with the eye twitch.
Sultan has a elemental summoning and an environmental science in hand. No white. Oh, okay, gonna pass the turn.
And Unsigned Red Shirt still, to this very day, doesn't have a 4th land.
Divide by 0. Popping back. The Dusk Mage is gonna slow down that card draw.
Yeah, that's definitely one of those scary things about doing counters. They divide by zeros. Bury in books. It's easy for blue to deal with these cards.
Andrew banking on another black mana coming.
Yeah, very interesting that Sultan decided not to go in with the hammer. Send that 4/4 flying over.
Mm-hmm. Finally getting a white mana. And
I think I wonder what's in Sultan's hand. He did not prioritize getting white mana at all. He had that environmental science in his hand for probably 5, 6, 8 turns.
Yeah, it's something where Sultan's deck. Oh shoot! I think the only white card in it is Approach. I may be wrong. Yeah, there's only one Plains, and yeah, the only white is Approach. So that may indicate that he has Approach in hand, and 1 mana away from being able to cast it.
Oof. Yeah. Trade in a 1/1 for a tasty flyer is that is good on Sultan. You know that your opponent is crippled on what they can do, but hey, here we go. A little too late, but it still tastes great.
Oh man, yeah, the Archaic coming down, gonna make spells harder for Sultan, but we may just see something fire off here. Oh wow. Okay, goes ahead and pays the 2. That way Andrew does not get another copy. I think, yeah, that's game. Wow, 2-0 Sultan.
2-0 Sultan. Super fast week so far.
How many weeks has Sultan won?
Sultan this season has won 1 week.
Okay.
So
all right. Well, let's pull him in. Let's pull him into a Chazats.
We'll pull in Sultan in just a second. Here we are with this week's crowned cave dweller and 3rd member of Team Cat, the Mana Sultan. Sultan, how do you feel this week? Sultan, how do you...
He's speechless.
He is
absolutely speechless.
Oh, shit. I am so sorry, Sultan.
Did you have him muted?
What happened?
All right, 1 second. I didn't have my push to talk pushed. So I was just...
Oh, so you're just talking to yourself and I'm sitting here awkwardly? Makes sense, you know?
LOL. All right,
Hello.
Here we are with the crowned cave dweller and 3rd member of Team Cat, the Mana Sultan. Sultan, how you feeling today?
You know, man, feeling pretty good. Feeling pretty good, dude. Took a couple weeks off. Had some family stuff. Had some obligations to tend to for the past couple weeks, but it feels good to come back and assert dominance. Honestly, that's really what
That's
it is.
right.
You know, what it boils down to.
Well, Sultan, again, you just won this week and this season by doing
Just kidding.
these.
Unless you forgot to push your talk. Now it's awkward again. But
Oh
all
my
good,
god,
man.
you
You know, all
shitty
good.
All
fuck.
right. Well, it sounds like I'm not quite sure. Can you hear
You hear
Mr.
me?
Swords?
Swords is muted. I have him muted for some reason. Hold on. Why is Swords muted by me?
I don't know.
Oh, there you go. Swords. My
There we
bad.
go.
I was like, what? Okay.
So you had me muted for the TikTok thing. That was why.
Right.
Yeah.
This makes sense. Yeah.
Wow.
Sure.
Well, we're
Yeah.
not super scuff. We're very professional here. We always have
Sure.
everything right. Welcome to Team Cat. We're pros.
That's right.
Woof, woof.
If you're interested in working with us, email curiositymtg@gmail.com. But Sultan, back to you and
Oh,
your
boy.
excellent win. So you won twice this season, and both of your builds were unsupported color pairs. Talk to us about that.
Oh yeah, man. You know me, dude. I like the unorthodox approach here. So first deck again, the blue white flyers, and then this one, the Demir deck of Doom. But yeah, man, I just like going kind of off the grid here, trying to really stretch what's possible with these cards and having fun with it, man. So that's that's a big part of it.
So thinking about this point in the season, now that everything's wrapped up, you've already gotten your place in the Cave Dweller Clash, and you came in second last season. What are your thoughts going into next week's Clash?
Being prepared for the unexpected. So last season we didn't see any aggro out of like the top performing decks, and I got just like beat down by it. I held my own for a bit, but that was really uh the reason why it all came crumbling down. But I think just being prepared here, messing around with the sideboard a little bit more. I took out I actually have a sideboard card this week, so I'm maybe doing a little bit more see in research, seeing what the meta may be, but feeling good for sure.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see kind of what people decide to bring, and it might be interesting to see how things kind of change based on the biggest oozer. What people bring to the biggest oozer, and then what the top 7 thinks about those folks. The cream of the crop, looking at the peasants and what the peasants bring. I definitely think that could have either some positive or negative. It's just like a lot of information coming in. It's kind of like a last chance qualifier, right?
Right. No, that should be interesting, man. We saw what Lorehold for probably one of the first times this week too. So
Yep.
even this late in the format, people testing out different things, trying to see where they can sneak in some advantage.
Yeah. On that, I mean, the Ida and I have talked a good bit about how this was our favorite season so far, just because there was the meta never settled. What's your feeling there?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of viable archetypes, and there's not super oppressive cards. And if there is, like maybe I think Onyx is a really good example of this. Like she's not super supported in what most people are trying to do. Like a lot of teamer piles going on. There's the aggro deck. Silver Quill, which is probably the best black base deck, doesn't really want her. So like even like those best cards are not a huge factor in the format. And then the other best card being Mascot Expedition is in every single deck. So it's kind of like a free roll there. So I think being healthy in the sense that there's not a super oppressive card like Coma was, maybe like those mill decks were in previous seasons, really lends itself to a healthy blend of curiosity.
Well, I like that. Curiosity. Well,
Yes.
thank you so much for playing with us, and being a good team pal. If you're watching this video on YouTube, then just to let you know, Mana Sultan streams at twitch.tv/TheManaSultan. Also, he puts on weekly tournaments for streamers of the limited variety, which is great.
Sure.
A lot of work goes into that. It's really sweet. I usually cast it, just like this event. So, yeah, thanks. And then, do you have, do you have any words to say to your opponents that have top 7'd?
Yeah. Bring your jabroni asses down here and open up this can of whip ass.
Nice. Thank you so much, Sultan.
Nice.
That's about it, guys. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, oh man, whew, those are some big words. Really frightening. A scary man. I felt it through the microphone, that he's gonna try to destroy us. So,
Like, I feel like Sultan is gonna bring his A game, and Sultan's A game is like other people are gonna have to do A++.
yeah, I mean,
to meet that.
it definitely. I wonder what's gonna happen this finals. It was kind of last finals. If I do remember correctly, and I have a good memory on this one. Sultan was the winner of the top bracket, so
Correct.
he did not lose a game until the finals, where he lost 2 times in a row to Kang, someone he previously sent to the losers bracket. So I wonder how things are going to go there. Kang, just like Mana Sultan, is an excellent deck builder, seeing everything. But yeah, what else do you have to say for this week?
Like we've been talking about, the meta has never settled. So I definitely agree with you and Mana Sultan that we may see something new come out of the big Oozer, and the top 7 may need to adapt to that. And hopefully we do. Hopefully it'll be something that is just wild, because there is just so much that is viable in this format, and we'll see what it looks like. I think next week's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, until next time, we're curiosity.